Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is my first makeup video. I've actually been wanting to make a makeup video for a long time, or make a series of videos, but every time I decide to do a video, something just comes up on my face and I haven't been very comfortable sharing my acne prone skin. What I start with, because I don't want to speak too much now, I'm just going to get into the video now. I'm going to be using this Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair. I use it every time, generally morning and night. Just it helps with hydration, so I just use it on my face. Just pat it in before I start any makeup routine. Just a little bit of skincare. Even though my face is very oily and very acne prone, I still need to hydrate. I then go on to use my moisturizer. Okay, so this primer I've had for some time now. It's Becca cosmetic primer. I would not recommend it for someone that's not got oily skin. If you have dry skin or normal skin, it might be a bit too drying, but it really works for me. So I just put a little bit on my very oily areas. So priming your face is very important. I still go on with this MAC Prep and Prime. So why I use this is just, it just gives you this smooth finish when you're done. So because my face is really oily, I still prime again, and this is like a third step. So I use a translucent powder every time before I put foundation on my face, which sounds really weird, but it actually helps my foundation last longer. So I just take any translucent powder. This one is from Mercier, but you can use any powder. It really doesn't matter. So I just put a little bit everywhere that gets very oily on my skin. Then I look very crazy afterwards. For foundation, I use this Estée Lauder foundation. This is in color Cinnamon. I'm using this brush from Real Techniques. This is the flat brush. I actually got it in a set also. I think I might link it up somewhere if I remember where I got it from. This is actually a very good brush for beginners. The set has everything that you need. I put a little bit on the back of my hand. I go on with my foundation. I actually apply more on the places that I need, like all my dark areas, all the dark spots I have on my face, the hyperpigmented areas. I've put the foundation on and it looks like it's well blended, but I don't think it is. So I still go on to, pat it a little more just to make sure that it's seamless and there's no area that's not well blended. So next I go on to use this concealer. This is NARS concealer and it's in the color Biscuit. It's medium dark. Any lighter foundation, just 1 or 2 shades lighter than you, would do the same job. I know there are like different ways people put concealer on now, like put some here and on there. Truthfully, just do what you can do very easily. You don't really have to go with the trend. Essentially, just make sure that you're not doing this when you're putting concealer on, like going flat on your face like this. So what you're doing is your face is just going to fall flat. So you really need it to come slightly high. Then I take X Plus. I just apply it generally on my face. I know people like to use it only at the end of makeup, but in between your makeup, it's a game changer. I just blend it in. You don't need to tap too much, just slightly. I just do a little bit of contouring. I'm trying not to do a very complicated makeup for you guys. So this is supposed to be beginners makeup. So I just squeeze my beauty blender and I just tap, and that's it. Then the darker concealer I use to contour is actually also from NARS, but it's this one in the pot and it's in the color Cafe. So I use it to contour around all the highlighted areas. So I just go straight. I don't pick up more product. I just, This is a step that you don't want to use too much product for. You have to go maybe a step or two darker than your normal skin tone. So, and that's what I've done. Depends. Some people actually go really dark. It depends on how dramatic you want it to be. For my cheek area, I take this brush. This is a brush I got from Primark some years ago. Brush was like 90p. I don't think you can find it again, but any brush that has this flat, ends and it's not so big, you can use it. All right, so I just take a little bit of the product, put it on here, and then use it on my cheeks. So where you want to point out on your cheeks is I really don't know these rules, like where exactly you want it to be. But what I do is I just use it immediately after my eyelash. This is where my hairline stops, but I go slightly higher and I just do a little bit. So a little bit of concealer. I stop just right here because I don't want it getting here, and I just want to look snatched like this. I don't want it to be like, so I just tap, 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 tap. Skipping on the sidewalks of my mind, hoping everything is gonna be alright. When we were brand new, we used to shine. So you see, I tap it directly into the highlights, so you can't see the line of demarcation. So usually you're not supposed to see where the highlights or where the contour stops. So you're just going to, you know, give it a good blend. I use this translucent powder from Mercier, and then I get my beauty blender. I still use the same beauty blender. I use the part that's still dry and then pat on my highlighted areas. Before we had the fights, before we had the lies, the space where So I used that same brush from Primark to get some product, some of the translucent powder, and just use it on my nose, on the highlighted areas. Okay, so I just, you know, you have to be very, you just don't go in and, you know, do whatever. You need to be intentional about every product that you drop on your face when you're making up. Next thing I go on to do is my brows. I'm not doing a brow tutorial, guys. So what I'm doing here is just, you know, showing you guys a little bit of how I do my brows, but I'm going to make another video on how to do your brows. I'm just going with this L'Oreal brow pencil. I have it in brunette, so most of my brow pencils are in dark brown. Brush my brows, so I just make a line. You generally just want to follow your own brows. You want it to look natural. You want it to have that natural look. Alright, so I'm just going to go again and do that. So you just want to fill it. So I fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. I don't do too much with my brows because I like a natural looking brow. So now that I've done my brows, I take that same NARS concealer that I used to highlight. That's this one. I just put it back on the back of my hand again. Just a little amount, very, very small amount. I go on with this brush. I can't find the brush I usually use, but I'm just going to use this one. My brush that looks like this. It has a triangle head. So I take some product. I touch on my face slightly because I don't want it going everywhere, and then you just want to clean up excesses and you want to highlight the tail of your eyebrow. Finished. That's all I do. This is all you need. You don't really need to do too much here. No, if you've done a straight line, I don't really like putting product here. I just put it here and that's it. Eyebrows are supposed to be cousins, not sisters, or maybe sisters and not twin sisters. So you take a clean brush, like a powder brush, and just dust this out for any excesses. So for the eyes, I'm going to use this nude palette, alright, from Morphe brushes. These people call Morphe brushes or something. So from Morphe. So I'm not going to use any eyeshadow base because we said we're just doing simple makeup. Okay, all right. So I usually start with taking the nude one, like almost my skin colored one. I just use it on my brow bone here, just to give a little bit of natural look to that highlighted area that I used the concealer on. So just to give it a natural looking finish. And then I just want a little bit of nude and color. This is my best color here, so I just put this nude color. You see, I'm stopping at that line that I've made with the under eye concealer. It's not really showing much, and that's what we're really going for. I don't want to have too much eyeshadow. Just want a natural looking eyeshadow. So nude look. You can almost not see that I've put anything on. Yeah, then I'll go with this reddish color. Just pick it up with the same brush. So I'm just blending, because everything you do, you have to blend, blend, blend. Next, I go in with eyeliner, black eyeliner. This one, I need my attention because I make mistakes every time. I start with the wing first, and then I go in on the eyes. So I'm going to be applying my eyelashes off camera, and I'll be back. My eyelashes are all done, so they look really nice, and I'm loving the look. Very, very natural look. Step is actually to put some liner in my waterline. All right, so I have this very tiny tiny liner. It's a MAC liner. I think it's, I can't remember the color. I think Feline or something. I've got a big one, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is, so I'm gonna have to use this miniature one. So I just put in my waterline. I really like this liner because it's very dark. Sometimes you want to, do a little bit of smoky eyes, but we're just going to leave it this way. I don't want anything to complicate this video. Still use some of my mascara down here just to help with my lower lash. Remember, we haven't used face powder yet. So I'm going to use this face powder by Estée Lauder in color Amber Honey. That's my usual color. I'm just going to pat some powder on my face. I told you my face is actually really, really oily. So I just pat dry areas, and you just want to make sure that it goes everywhere you want it to go. You just don't want to, you have to be intentional about where you want the powder to go on, all right, or how much you want to powder your face. So I try not to do too much on the highlighted areas because I still want it to remain highlighted. Only if there's too much product, then I use some powder to get it off. But I use some powder on my nose just to bring down a bit of the contour, and then on my forehead also. I go down to my neck just slightly. I'm going in next with a blush. I really, really like this Fenty Beauty blush, and is in color Ruby Richet. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I can't find the brush that I'm supposed to use, so I'm going to use my powder brush. I'm eventually going to wash my brushes, so I'm going to have to use my powder brush today. I still have the urge to do this, but you don't really have to. A lot of people blush here, and that's what I do. So I just put the blush, but you just don't want to put the blush like dum, and that's it. No, you want to blend it to look natural. I know all this now, some professionals are going to be like, oh no, you need to measure between the dimensions. I'm like, no, makeup is not supposed to be mathematics. So this is it. So I just do this on the two sides. Try to make it as symmetrical as possible so you don't look like this. Now that that's done, I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting. So I use Gold Deposit from MAC. I've always used this. So I'm going in with my 90p brush by Primark, and I'll just take some product and just right above the blush, kind of. So I just apply. I like to go slightly too much, so guys, don't be like me. So I wanted to show. I just like it to show. So I wish I wasn't like acne prone or oily sometimes, because I want to use a lot more highlighter. But if I use too much and my face gets oily, I start looking stupid. My friend that is a makeup artist does this. So on the part that I highlighted on my eyebrow, that area, I just put a little. Now that highlighting is done, it's just the lips left. So for the lips, I'm actually trying to go with a nude look. So I have this brown lip liner. It's like reddish brown. I love this color so much. It's almost the color of the eyeshadow. So I use that as my liner. I'm going in with MAC Velvet Teddy, my best nude lipstick ever. This nude lipstick is my holy grail. I love this nude lipstick so much. So this is the mini. I think I got it as a gift from MAC. I go back again with the liner and I line slightly again, and that's it. And guess what, guys, I'm almost done already. So I'm going to take my Fix Plus. I'm just going to use it all over. I think I sprayed too much. So I've drowned myself in Fix Plus. I go back with my translucent powder and tap again and put it again on the highlighted areas. So I just put some product on there. Makeup done. I'm really loving this look. Usually this takes me less than 30 minutes to do, like really quickly, because I'm used to doing this very easy quick makeup. It's so easy to do. I think everyone should be able to do this simple makeup. Okay, so I hope someone has learned from this and you can do your own makeup by yourself. If there's anything in the video you will need to comment about, you want to ask me questions, or if you have any other makeup ideas, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.